Well, a road map. First off, well, I don't know about, well, if we're going to do first off, we better start here. This fuel tank needs cleaned out. Generally, if you take some vinegar and salt and fill it up, and or actually the best stuff is evaporust, and you'll fill up the tank and let it soak for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, I don't know. The evaporust doesn't have the acid in it, so it won't eat the good metal. But this tank needs to be derusted and cleaned, and then you would rinse it out and with water, and then maybe follow that up with alcohol to get out all the water, and maybe an air gun or a hair dryer or something. Steve still has the fuel valve at his shop. And then, this is all new to me. That bar right there, that's kind of like the clutch, and there's a lever on the left-hand side. To start it, you pull the lever, and that presses that bar against that thing, and basically pushes it in, and you kind of hit the pedals. I guess I'll have to show you when I get it. I don't have my tripod here. But something's missing there because it's rubbing. I've loosened it up. It's still rubbing against metal on metal, once you let go, and I've adjusted it or whatever. And then right here is the carburetor, and you're missing your air box. I mean, it'll run without it, but you should have some sort of air filter. I've just rigged up a funnel and some fuel line to kind of temporarily fill it with a little bit of gas to get it to start. And then I was saying back here, these are, I think, the original tires, so they're probably 30, 40 years old. Those tires and the tube should be replaced, front and back. Let's go to the other side. Well, while we're talking about tires, the rear brake works and the front brake works. They either will need adjusting, and I'm sure in time you'll need new brakes that fit into those hubs there. And I think that chain needs adjusted. You can do that by, there's the special, there's the axle bolt, and there's that special fastener. Basically, you can move the tire back, which tightens the chain, and there's one on each side. So let's go to the other side. And I just don't have the time to get all into this. It's taken actually quite a bit of time to get this point, because I'm not, I guess the problem with mopeds is, there's no standard. All these manufacturers came out with different engines, different drive systems, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm kind of having to relearn, or learn all of this stuff for the first time myself. So there's your fuel valve connect. Steve has the fuel valve. But anyways, my point that I was trying to make is, basically nobody works on these things except, there's no scooter store or anything like that that'll want to work on this stuff, because the same deal, they want to work on what they know, and they don't want to spend hours trying to learn something new for, what's the most they can legitimately charge you for this kind of stuff. They can't charge you the amount of time that they're going to put into it learning it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I wired it just for spark. And this is the real trick with these things, is they run the ground through the brake light. So if your brake light ever dies, like the bulb goes bad, you can't start your engine. So I guess it's for safety or something. I don't even get it myself. But basically, I took everything out of the equation and just wired it for spark. So I think there's some wiring diagrams online, but yellow is basically your lights. So you just match up the colors, and I think you've got an extra blue. So one of the blue wires coming out of the engine goes to two of the blue wires coming out of that, is how I think it works. But if you hook them all up and it doesn't start, then you've got a ground problem. Something is grounding it out. You've just got to trace it through the wires. And then, you know, these are disconnected here. I know your speedometer doesn't work. I'm not sure if the cable's not hooked up, or if the gear, there's a little speedometer gear in the hub, if that's just shot or whatever. But you know, there's your road map, I think. You know, your biggest issue is going to be, your two biggest issues are going to be wiring and cleaning out that tank. Now you could come up with like a plastic lawnmower fuel tank, and you know, right there is supposed to be some sort of cover. Same on the other side. You could probably hook up a fuel tank on each side if this one proves to be too far gone. It's kind of hard to tell. They always look okay at the top where the fuel goes in, but down here they're usually worse down here than up here. But you can do the evaporust treatment. So you know, there's your road, and of course you're missing stuff. You know, I said the air box, you're missing, there's a cover, a lens cover that goes here. I've got the covers to the engine. I'm not quite sure how those go on. You're missing the covers that go from here to there on both sides. So hopefully that gets you started, but I can show you how to start it and you can take it from there. And I don't know if I finally made this point or not, but basically you've got to learn how to do all this stuff yourself, because in the world of mopeds, it's not like a car where you can, you know, pretty much count on it to start and run every day. These things just, you know, mainly because of their age, there's something going wrong all the time, and you've got to learn how to fix it on the fly. That's just kind of owning mopeds. That's just what it's all about, man.